The start of a new year is more than just a change on the calendar. It's an opportunity to redefine yourself, let go of what no longer serves you, and step into a better, stronger version of who you are. However, lasting transformation doesn't come from dramatic overhauls or fleeting resolutions. It's built on habits, those small daily actions that shape your life in powerful ways. The Stoics understood the power of habits long before modern self-improvement books filled the shelves. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca all believed that living a meaningful life isn't about grand gestures, but about the consistent practice of principles that ground, guide, and help you grow. In this episode, we'll explore 10 Stoic habits that can help you reinvent yourself in 2025 and beyond. These habits aren't just theoretical. They're practical, actionable, and designed for real life. Whether you're looking to overcome anxiety, boost your productivity, or find clarity in a chaotic world, these principles will provide you with the tools to create lasting change. Reinvention doesn't happen in a single moment. It's a process that starts with the habits you choose to cultivate. Let's dive in and explore how these Stoic practices can empower you to make 2025 your year of transformation. Habit 1. Start small to achieve big. When we think about change, it's tempting to imagine a grand overhaul, a sweeping transformation that turns everything around in an instant. But the Stoics understood that true, lasting change comes from small, deliberate steps taken consistently over time. Marcus Aurelius reminded us of this truth when he said, "You must build up life action by action and be content if each one achieves its goal as far as possible." Starting small doesn't mean thinking small. It means focusing on manageable actions that create momentum. Think of it like planting a tree. You don't expect it to grow overnight, but with consistent care, watering it daily, and ensuring it gets sunlight, it becomes a towering force of nature over time. The same is true for your habits. Small actions compound into big results. For example, if you want to improve your health, instead of attempting a complete lifestyle overhaul, start with something simple like committing to walking for 10 minutes every day. That small habit is achievable, and as you stick with it, it builds confidence. Soon, that 10-minute walk might turn into a 30-minute run, and before you know it, you're making other positive changes like eating healthier or sleeping better. This principle applies to any area of life. If you want to grow intellectually, start by reading just one page of a book each day. That may not sound like much, but over a year, that's 365 pages, an entire book or more. By breaking your goals into smaller, manageable pieces, you remove the intimidation factor and make progress feel achievable. Small steps also help you overcome the fear of starting. Often we delay action because the end goal feels overwhelming. For instance, if you dream of writing a novel, the idea of completing hundreds of pages might paralyze you. But what if you started with just 100 words a day? In 3 months, you'd have over 9,000 words. The key is to focus on the process, not the destination. The Stoics believed in progress over perfection. Seneca said, "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life." This wisdom encourages us to focus on the small victories each day, rather than waiting for some monumental achievement to validate our efforts. To cultivate this habit, start by identifying one small action you can take today that aligns with your bigger goals. Write it down, commit to it, and do it consistently. Whether it's drinking a glass of water when you wake up, meditating for 5 minutes, or jotting down a single idea in a journal, the size of the action doesn't matter. It's the habit of showing up that counts. Think of your small actions like drops of water filling a jar. At first, the progress might seem slow, even insignificant, but over time those drops accumulate, and before you know it, the jar overflows. That's the power of starting small. So as you begin your journey to reinvent yourself in 2025, remind yourself, I don't need to change everything at once. I just need to take one small step today. Because with each small step, you're building the foundation for big success. Habit 2. Master your anxiety before it masters you. Anxiety is a storm that brews in the mind, feeding on uncertainties, fears, and countless what-ifs we can't control. For many of us, it's not the events themselves that cause distress, but our endless anticipation of what might go wrong. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them." The key to mastering anxiety lies in shifting your perspective and regaining control over your inner dialogue. Anxiety often grows when we focus on what's outside our control, how others perceive us, the outcomes of our efforts, or the uncertainty of the future. By redirecting your focus to what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and reactions, you take the wind out of anxiety's sails. It's not about eliminating uncertainty, but learning how to navigate it with calmness and clarity. Imagine you're preparing for a big presentation at work. Your mind spirals. What if I forget what to say? What if they don't like my ideas? This kind of anxious thinking pulls you into scenarios that haven't even happened yet. To regain control, pause and ask yourself, what can I do right now? Maybe it's rehearsing your opening line or reviewing your slides. By focusing on what's actionable, you replace helpless worry with purposeful action. Mindfulness is another powerful tool for mastering anxiety. The Stoics practice staying grounded in the present moment, a principle echoed in Marcus Aurelius's words. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When anxiety arises, bring your attention back to the here and now. Take a deep breath, feel your feet on the ground, and remind yourself that this moment is manageable. Consider this exercise. When anxiety takes hold, write down your fears. Seeing them on paper often reveals that they're not as overwhelming as they seemed in your mind. Next to each fear, write one thing you can do to address it, no matter how small. This process helps you shift from worrying to problem solving. Let's look at a practical example. Imagine a student preparing for an exam. Anxiety tells them, what if I fail? What if I forget everything? Instead of spiraling, they could focus on what they can control, creating a study schedule, reviewing key topics, and practicing relaxation techniques before the test. By taking these steps, they not only prepare effectively, but also calm the storm of anxiety. The Stoics also remind us that much of what we fear is exaggerated. Seneca wisely noted, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." How often have you dreaded a difficult conversation or task, only to find that it wasn't as bad as you anticipated? Anxiety thrives on worst-case scenarios, but reality is often far kinder. To master your anxiety, it's also important to question its validity. Ask yourself, is this fear based on fact or assumption? What evidence do I have that this outcome will happen? Challenging your anxious thoughts helps you see them for what they are, possibilities, not certainties. Finally, remember that anxiety can be a signal, not just a burden. It points to areas where preparation or self-reflection is needed. For example, if you feel anxious about a new job, that anxiety might remind you to research the company or brush up on key skills. When viewed this way, anxiety becomes a guide rather than a foe. Think of anxiety like a wave. If you try to resist it, it crashes over you, leaving you overwhelmed. But if you ride the wave, acknowledging its presence and working with it, you can move forward with greater ease and confidence. The next time anxiety knocks at your door, pause and remind yourself, this feeling doesn't control me. I control how I respond. By mastering your anxiety, you reclaim your peace of mind, empowering yourself to face life's uncertainties with strength and clarity. Habit 3. Design a routine that works for you. Life is full of chaos and unpredictability, but a well-crafted routine can act as your anchor, keeping you grounded and focused no matter what storms come your way. The Stoics understood the importance of structure, believing that consistency and intentionality in daily life lead to clarity, progress, and inner peace. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This begins with how you shape your days. A routine isn't about rigidity or filling every moment with tasks. It's about creating a rhythm that aligns with your values, energy levels, and goals. When you design a routine that works for you, you free yourself from decision fatigue, reduce stress, and create a framework for consistent growth. Think of your daily life like a ship at sea. Let's start with a simple example. Imagine someone who feels overwhelmed by their workload. Without a routine, they might spend their days reacting to emails, jumping from one task to another without focus. But by setting a clear schedule, blocking time for deep work, short breaks, and planning, they regain control and improve their productivity. A routine isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters most. To create a routine that works for you, begin by identifying your priorities. What are the key areas you want to focus on daily? This might include work, physical health, learning, relationships, and self-care. Next, consider your natural rhythms. Are you most productive in the morning or the evening? Aligning your routine with your energy levels ensures you're working with your strengths, not against them. For example, if you're a morning person, you might start your day with a workout, followed by your most challenging tasks. In the afternoon, when your energy dips, you can schedule less demanding activities like meetings or administrative work. In the evening, dedicate time to unwind, connect with loved ones, or pursue hobbies. Another key aspect is flexibility. A good routine adapts to life's changes rather than breaking under pressure. For instance, if unexpected events disrupt your day, don't abandon your routine entirely. Instead, adjust and refocus on the essential parts. The Stoics taught that while we can't control everything that happens, we can control how we respond. Consider the story of an artist striving to improve their craft. Without a routine, their practice might be sporadic, leading to slow progress. But by setting a dedicated time each day for sketching, experimenting with new techniques, and studying the work of others, they create a structure that fosters consistent growth. Over time, this routine becomes second nature and their skills flourish. To make your routine effective, start small. Identify one or two key habits you want to incorporate and build from there. Perhaps you begin with a morning ritual that sets a positive tone for the day, such as meditation, journaling, or reading. As these habits become ingrained, add other elements like exercise, focused work periods, and evening wind-down activities. Remember, a routine isn't a set of strict rules, but a guide that helps you live with intention. It's about creating a balanced life that supports your well-being and growth. To refine your routine, periodically reflect on what's working and what's not. Are there activities that drain your energy or don't align with your goals? Adjust accordingly, ensuring your routine evolves with you. Think of your routine like a garden. With regular care and attention, it flourishes, providing you with beauty and nourishment. Neglect it, and it becomes overgrown and chaotic. By designing a routine that works for you, you cultivate a life of purpose, resilience, and fulfillment. So, as you embark on this journey of reinvention, ask yourself, what daily habits will support my growth and well-being? And begin crafting a routine that reflects the best version of yourself.